4, 3, 2, 1. James, I'll tell you when you're up. James, it's you.
Good morning and welcome to Santa Fe College first ever career coffee shop. I am James Schindler, coordinator for career and job placement here at Santa Fe College, and my co-host is Ismelda Alvarez, but we call her Izzy for short.
Hey James, how are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
Morning.
She is one of our admissions specialist extraordinaires here at Santa Fe College. Our goal with Career Coffee Shop this morning is to be a live, reoccurring show offering workforce, career, and degree information, as well as a referral to resources at Santa Fe College and in our community. It is our goal to provide a relaxed, open forum with hosts and guest speakers who truly care about your dreams and respect your time, and most importantly, your money. This program will guide you and, more importantly, connect you to people and programs that open doors to your future. You might also learn a thing or two about coffee. So this morning, to start the ball rolling, I'm enjoying a Dunkin' Donuts medium brew served in an Epcot World Showcase mug. Sort of nostalgic for me. It's delicious. Before we begin, and since our show is called Career Coffee Shop, here's a couple things about coffee I bet you didn't know. Izzy, did you know that merely smelling coffee can help you wake up in the morning?
Well, it helps me, so I can believe it.
Scientists have found that merely inhaling, just simply inhaling a lungful of brewing coffee in the morning can activate your brain and help you face the challenges of the day. So before you come in for that early morning test, grab a cup of Joe, take a big whiff, and get the wheels turning. Also, and I thought this was amazing, we all know many famous people drink coffee, some to an excess. Did you know Ludwig von Beethoven was an alleged coffee fanatic who hand count 60 coffee beans, exactly 60 coffee beans before making every single cup of coffee? That's dedication. Also, US President Teddy Roosevelt allegedly drank a gallon of coffee every single day, which may be why he always looks so excited in every single picture I've ever seen. In this broadcast, we're going to cover two things. First, I want to share some information about employment. I have Andrea Mender from the Greater Gainesville Chamber of Commerce, who's going to update us about the employment environment here in Gainesville. And then I want to talk a little bit about resumes and provide some resources that I know will help you bring in some dollars to pay for your education and your living expenses. Secondly, Izzy's going to discuss admissions at Santa Fe College. The pandemic has moved many of our services, including classes here at the college, online, and she and her team of professionals are here to ensure your questions are answered and you are able to register as efficiently and easily as possible for your classes. If you have questions as we work our way through the presentation, please submit them via the chat function, and Thomas or Julie behind the scenes will do their very best to address them during the broadcast or get them to the appropriate department for follow-up. So without further ado, grab your cup of coffee and let's get started. Andrea, the floor is yours. But before you begin and get into the spirit of things, could you share with us your favorite coffee, or if you're not a coffee drinker, your breakfast drink of choice? You're on, Andrea.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, James? I'm so excited to be here. I do not drink coffee.
Oh.
My brother-in-law says that I'm the only person who made it out of college without a coffee addiction, but that's all right. So in my cup today, I have some peach tea, and I've been enjoying it this morning. So thank you for having me today. James and our audience and Izzy, my name is Andrea Mender. I'm Director of Workforce Services with the Greater Gainesville Chamber. In that role, I have the opportunity nearly daily to talk to HR managers and business owners about the jobs that they have available. And I know that in this very difficult time that we're in, it can seem overwhelming to think that nothing good is happening because all we hear are all of these bad things and, what are we going to do? And, there's just so much bombardment of the difficulties. And as I was thinking about our conversation today and thinking about a beautiful morning, I look out my window, sun shining, skies are blue, and I really started thinking about the encouragement that I've had in this time, both from the businesses that I've talked to that are hiring, and they are excited to let people know that they have jobs available because they want to help. They want to make sure that people know that they're hiring because there is so many people that aren't and that aren't able to. And so I started thinking about the encouragement that I've seen and ways that I've seen this time become helpful in some way and help me. And so I thought about our Greater Gainesville Chamber, and our staff, myself included, are talking to business owners regularly and a wide variety of businesses. And while many of them are facing difficult times, right from the beginning of this crisis, we saw businesses stepping up to help. So much so that we created a space called Support GNV to highlight all of the ways that companies are giving. The other thing that has been pretty amazing to me in these times is to see companies and organizations do things in ways they never imagined they would. James, would you have imagined 3 months ago that you would be podcasting? And he's shaking his head no, he's on mute, but
You're right. Never would have.
Never. Me either. But in my job, I support job fairs and recruitment events for CareerSource North Central Florida. And, we're not able to do those right now, but we moved to providing some of those services to employers and job seekers through a new Facebook group called Propel GNB. Didn't exist before all of this happened, but it's a great resource for people that are looking for work. And even CareerSource North Central Florida, who we work really closely with, has moved to providing a lot of, actually almost nearly all of their services, they're providing in some way virtually. That was not even a conversation, not even something that could have been possible just a few short months ago. So we see businesses, organizations, the companies that we work with on a daily basis, finding new ways to do their business. So how does this play into our workforce? What does this mean for us as individuals? And the thing about this is we often think business as this nebulous thing that's way out there somewhere. It's a being that's business, but business is individuals. It's people who are making daily decisions for themselves, for their families, for employees, and the community. And to me, each of us as individuals that are having some kind of struggle right now, and everybody in some way is struggling. I mean, even people who are working right now, if you're working at home, it's stressful. How do we do this? I've never done this before. If you're working in the community, it's stressful. How do I keep myself safe? How do I keep my family safe? If you're not working right now, that's extremely terrifying. Am I going to be able to find a new job? What am I going to be able to, how am I going to be able to provide for myself and my family? It is a difficult time, but I think we can look at what our business community is doing right now and think about how that applies to us as an individual. So the Support GNV initiatives, how can I right now be of service and be a part of my community in a way that's supporting and helping others in some way. We've seen people do that even from their homes, sewing masks, right? Simple thing, but it's a way that people are helping. And so that can help us to feel better. And I was just having a conversation yesterday with Eva Del Rio, who I would imagine that James probably knows. And we're looking at, we're going to be releasing some professional development videos to help people in their job search. And she's going to be featured in our first video. And one of the things she talked about was the importance of having really positive outlook. Be sad for a minute, but then be positive. So if we're helping others, it's going to make us feel better and help us in the long run. And then the other thing is, and this is where I kind of want to leave things, is how can we be innovative? Is this a time where I can think differently about my work? Businesses are hiring. In fact, our new video series called Now Hiring, we're featuring companies that have open positions available. Right now, people might want to know that the top 3 industries that we have jobs posted in employflorida.com locally here are healthcare, education, and construction. So maybe right now is a time that somebody might want to explore new industries that they could work in. Or maybe it's an opportunity that they've just been waiting for to be able to upskill in their current field. So when it all comes down to it, I think we can learn a lot from our business community about how they made lemonade out of lemons, right? They're struggling. You're struggling. I'm struggling. But we don't want to miss this opportunity to find something good and to find an opportunity that maybe something even better could come out of this from what we had before. And I think we can do that in our work as well. So, James, I hope we can be a little positive, a little ray of sunshine in our tea, and just be able to make do with what we have and see what we can have that's better in the future.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Andrea. Words of hope and a beautiful background to boot. So again, thank you. Having worked with the Chamber for many, many years, I know the Chamber's working so hard to keep our community strong and safe. If anyone out there wants more information about, thank you, Andrea.
Thanks, James.
Many people are out of work because of COVID-19. Some I know are waiting for your job to return, while others are searching for something right now. Either way, starting a job search can feel overwhelming, especially given the current circumstances. But there are steps you can take to give yourself the best opportunity for success. And one of the most, and I say most important things you can do right now is to update your resume and your cover letter. Or if you don't have one, this is the best time to start working on them. Now, I know the concept of a resume is familiar to everyone. We've been writing resumes for many, many years, but times are changing. The preparation of a successful and up-to-date resume during the pandemic, there's some things you need to consider. COVID-19 has forced, and I use that word intentionally, it has forced us to learn new ways of surviving and, even more importantly, succeeding. And we are succeeding. Think about it. Because of social distancing and quarantine, the technological aspect of your resume is vital. It's extremely important. Now, no one wants to do this again, but think about it. What if one day we have to do this again? We want people that are ready. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but in the future, I foresee a great deal more remote work. Plus, think about all of the exciting new jobs and possibly even industries that are going to be created as a result of this pandemic. So keep your eyes open and be ready to jump when you find that niche. Lastly, as I know you're working on your resume, do an honest inventory assessment of your own skills and abilities. As you consider Santa Fe College, I can tell you that knowing exactly what you're after not only keeps you motivated, but Those new skills look great on your resume and they make you a much better and stronger candidate. Now, let's look at some of the resources that Andrea mentioned that are going to help you with your resume and with your job search. So, of course, I'm going to start with Santa Fe College. The Santa Fe College website, sfcollege.edu, has a wealth of resources available to you as a student and even as a potential student. The resource that I want to talk to you about, though, is called Career Coach. So if you go to the Santa Fe College webpage, scroll down just slightly. There's President Brody. Hello, President Brody. Scroll down just slightly, and you're going to see a box over on the right-hand side that says Career Coach. Now, Career Coach has some amazing resources built in. If you're looking at this on a phone, it's going to look different than a PC. You may have some tabs across the top, or maybe just this little tab up on the upper left. And clicking on that, the very first thing we have that comes up are assessments. These are going to help you determine where your interests lie, what you're well suited for, where your abilities could best be used. So take a look at the assessments, completely free. You also can look at careers and programs of study. These are different programs that we have within the college relative to the career that you've chosen. And you're going to be able to look at some of the skills and things that you're going to take away through some of the courses by going into different occupations. There's a fantastic resume builder tool to help you get started so that you can input your information and you end up with a good resume to begin with so you can start applying for those positions. And lastly, and what I want to talk about, work opportunities. Well, let me click back. Oh. Sorry about that. Well, okay. It looks like maybe some problems going with the work opportunities, so I'm going to move on. But the work opportunities is a job board that I maintain for Santa Fe College, working with our local area employers. I can tell you right now, there are 97 jobs posted, all from local area employers. These are not Santa Fe campus jobs. We're going to do an episode and talk about that. However, these are jobs that I've gone into the community, working with employers. It's updated every day. So keep an eye on that. Look for that new job. Wouldn't it be wonderful to graduate and automatically step into a job? That's the goal. Let me give it one more try just to see if they fixed. Looks like the issue's still going on. Next, I want to talk about employflorida.com. Now, for those of you that have been on Employ Florida, and I know many of you have, please hear me out. I know the site can be a little bit cumbersome, but I know the people that work behind the scenes at Employ Florida, and I can tell you they do an amazing job of keeping the postings up to date, screening them for scams. They are always cautious and trying to put the best information, the best job opportunities in front of you. What I like about Employ Florida is the ability to do a job search and narrow it down even to my zip code. So I'm going to do one as a sample just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. We're going to do a job search for the word construction, and I'm going to do one right here in Gainesville. I'm going to use 32606, which is the Santa Fe College zip code, and we're going to leave it at the default of 25 miles. So a search within 32606, if you notice, results in 178 jobs with the word construction. Now, you're not going to qualify for all of them. Actually, I just noticed, take a look, the very first one, Santa Fe College is looking for an adjunct assistant professor within their construction program. Doesn't get any better than that. So again, give Employ Florida a try. Use it for your job search, narrow it down, whether you want to be in our area, maybe you're in the outlying areas. Again, some fantastic tools, very powerful. Use them within your job search. Lastly, I'd like to talk about Indeed for just a moment. Now, what can I say about Indeed? You've probably all heard about it. They are the biggest job board out there. And to be honest, they're normally the very first place that many employers look to when they have open jobs that they're trying to fill. Why wouldn't you use them? I will caution you though, just be careful on the check boxes and where you click. so that you don't end up on too many mailing lists. There are lots of other job boards out there, and please don't think that my not mentioning them is in any way a reflection on them. It's definitely not. But I would like to leave you with this. Please be very, very cautious with your job searches, as scams are running rampant. The scammers are out there, they are very active, and they're looking to gain access to your information. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you receive an email or a phone call and they tell you they came across your resume and you would be a great fit, it's probably a scam. Headhunters do exist, but they're few and far between. You are going to be the one that finds the job, not the other way around. Now, enough about me. I want to turn the floor over to Izzy in admissions. Izzy, the floor is yours. But again, before you begin, can you share with us what your own coffee selection is this morning?
Hi, James. Yeah,
Hi.
I'm super excited to be here. So my coffee, I made a large pot of just regular black coffee, but I added brown sugar and coconut milk to it.
Oh, wow.
I really enjoy it. So if you have not had it, I would recommend trying it. So just a little bit more about, Santa Fe College and what we have to offer. The first thing that I always like to mention is that our application is free to complete. And it takes about less than 15 minutes to complete. So once you submit your application, you'll have a student ID, and then you can log into your eSanta Fe to continue the admissions process. Now, the next thing is, what are you going to study? So we offer 4 types of degrees at Santa Fe College. And the first one I'm gonna cover are bachelor's. So we currently offer 9 bachelor's degrees. And James, surprisingly, a lot of people aren't aware that we do. But one of the things about the bachelor's is that we hope to meet the job demands here in Gainesville. An example of our bachelor's that we do offer is accounting and nursing. So if you are watching and if that is something that you are interested in, definitely take a look. The second type of degree that I will be talking about is our AA. So when it comes to your AA, this is your transfer degree. It allows you to transfer over to any university that you are interested in transferring over to. And you can gear this towards any specific major that you are interested in. Now, you do want to talk to the university that you're interested in transferring over to make sure that you're meeting the requirements. So whenever you're ready to transfer over, it'll be a smooth transition. The third type of degree that I will be discussing is our AS. So all of our AS programs are hands-on training, and it gives you that experience. So if you look on a screen on your top right, you'll see a picture of our zoo. Now, our zoo animal technology program is a very, very popular program. It's the only one that we're the only college that has a zoo on campus. And when it comes to our zoo animal technology program, we do not hire zookeepers. All of our students are our zookeepers. So even as we're talking right now, we have students who are making sure that the zoo and the animals are taken well of, that they're being fed, they're being trained, that they're good to go. Another example of our AS is our construction program. So all of our students get together each year and they build a house together, and we have partnered with Habitat for Humanity. And somebody in our community gets a brand new house each year. So our students are able to say that they helped a family in need, but also they had that hands-on training experience, which I think is absolutely amazing. The fourth type of degree that we do offer are certificates. So certificates range from 6 months to 2 years, depending on which program you are interested in. A view book is being provided for you if you are interested in any program in our links. So feel free to click on that, look at the different types of degree options that we do offer, and feel free to reach out to someone in our admissions office to talk about exactly what route you would like to go. Now, a little bit more about the AA and the AS is the difference between these two. So when it comes to your AA, this is your transfer degree. Once again, this allows you to transfer over to any university that you are interested in. And as I mentioned earlier, make sure that you're talking to your academic advisor to make sure you're meeting those requirements. When it comes to your AS, this is skill specific. So this allows you to go straight into the workforce after your 2 years or 3 years when your program ends. So just make sure you're talking to someone that you know the difference between these two. Now, talking about tuition. So if you are a Florida resident, which means that you have been living in Florida for at least a year or 12 months, you will receive what we call the Florida resident discounted tuition. So per credit hour, it is $106.77. And if you're a full-time student, it's roughly $12.81. If you're a non-Florida resident, it is $3.82 per credit hour. And if you're a full-time student, which means you're taking 12 credits, it's roughly $4,000, as you can see on the screen. So you want to make sure you're turning in your Florida residency form, and that you turn in your 2 proofs of Florida residency so you can get that discounted tuition. And that's all that I have as far as the admission side. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat box regarding the admissions process. And it's back to you, James.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Iz. I have to agree. Our zoo program is absolutely amazing. To walk through the zoo, I don't know if everyone knows, our zoo is open to the public, and our zoo is completely maintained by students. So while many of us are working from home, our zoo students have had to go in to continue taking care of those animals. But very devoted and absolutely fantastic program. So again, thank you very much for you and your team, Iz, for what you do and what you continue to do for our students. I know you guys are making a huge difference. So, okay, that concludes the admissions section. I think we have time to answer a few questions. So if you have something, please submit via chat. I don't know that we're going to be able to get to them all, but we'll address some questions with the time that we have remaining.
I have a question for you, James. What is the hardest part of making a resume?
Oh, great question. Resume itself, much like I was talking earlier, using the resume tool within Career Coach, creating the resume, the initial resume, typically goes together fairly quickly. The hardest part for me is fine-tuning that resume. You need to consider a resume, I call it a living, breathing document. It's constantly being massaged, finessed to make it better. We need to make sure that it appeals to where we're applying. If I'm never going to use Microsoft Word in the job that I'm applying for, but I have other skills that I will be using, well, then Microsoft Word could probably be removed and replaced with something more important. So we've got to be able to think about what it is the employer is looking for. The second part of that, and I think something that we all need to be doing, resumes need to be read. Don't just write your resume and sit on it. Farm it out. Give it to a trusted professor. Give it to a trusted friend. Give it to an instructor, someone who does what I do. Take it to the Gainesville Chamber, something. Let people read it, because communication is a fickle, fickle thing. What we think we said, someone else may not understand. So it's very important that we take that single sheet of paper and be as precise and as clear as we can in getting our message across. Great question. Let's see, I'll take the next question. I have one. I only have a short time to go back to school. Does Santa Fe have a program I can complete in 6 months?
Yes, we have several programs that you can complete in under 6 months. So you want to make sure that you look over the view book. There should be a link that had been provided for you, and you're talking to those advisors of that specific program to make sure that whenever you are into the program, you're good to go, you know everything that you need, and we have several of those.
Huh, fantastic. What else? Keep submitting. These are great. Go ahead, Iz.
I have another question for you.
All right.
And during these times, how do you make yourself look competitive as far as resumes?
Well, make yourself look competitive. Now, that is something that each of us needs to strive for on the resume itself. But at the same time, we can't create skills and abilities that we don't have. A couple different ways. Look competitive. First is the acquisition of new skills, new abilities, new training, new degrees, new programs. As I mentioned earlier, having those new skills, being able to put those on the resume sure make you a much stronger candidate. But at the same time, also look at the job that you're applying for. Consider the job description sort of an answer sheet that you weren't supposed to have, but that's given to you. You have the answers. So make sure that you've tailored your resume to look positive, to appeal to the reader, to the person that you're applying with. So if you're able to, again, write the skills and abilities into your resume that the employer has asked for in the job description, you're going to get their attention, which leads to the interview, at which point you're able to sell yourself.
That's good. So there's another question. Do I have to be unemployed to use the Employ Florida site to find a job? Is a two-part question. Here's the other part to it. Is there any help to use the site to find the job?
Okay. So employflorida.com is a website run by the state of Florida. However, the state of Florida utilizes CareerSource, which is the parent organization, and they have split CareerSource into 24 different regions. We happen to be Region 9, CareerSource, North Central Florida. CareerSource is there to help you utilize employflorida.com. No, you do not have to be unemployed. In fact, many people use Employ Florida to take their career to the next level, to change or transition into a new career. CareerSource or Employ Florida is there for all of us. If you're having trouble using it, we have CareerSource Center downtown, which is on 10 Northwest 6th Street. It's on the corner of 6th and 6th and University. They are there to help. I believe they have gone back to the office, but if not, they are online and you're able to get some resources that way. You also are able to call in to get some help using it, but they have a computer room up front. They have 25 computers up front for public use, as well as plenty of volunteers and staff to help you with any problems that you're experiencing within employflorida.com. I've got a question for you.
Okay.
This person says, I have never registered for college and not sure how to begin. Congratulations on registering, by the way, or looking to register. That's wonderful. It's a great step. Where should I go first to find out more information about classes and start the process?
That's a good question. That's the $1 million question right there. So what you want to do is go to www.sfcolleges.edu. Once you get there, you'll be able to see on the top right corner of the website, and you should see apply to SF. You click on there and then you're able to create an application. So once again, you'll put in all your information, your date of birth, social security, all that good stuff, so we can identify who you are. And once you complete the application, you will receive a Santa Fe ID. You want to make sure that you write that Santa Fe ID number down so you don't forget it. But if you do end up forgetting it, feel free to reach out to somebody in the admissions office and somebody can help you with that. But once you have the Santa Fe ID, you can log back into your eSanta Fe, which you go back to the website. It'll be on your left side this time. So you log in with your Santa Fe ID and the password you created. And once you have access to that, it'll take you to your, what we call the My Status page. And on that My Status page, you'll see a list of all the requirements that you have to complete, such as Florida residency. If you said you are a Florida resident, that's going to be a requirement. Orientation, you want to make sure you complete orientation. If you have been to college before and you stated that in the application, that's going to be a requirement, so you can turn in your college transcripts or your high school transcripts. So you want to make sure you're meeting those requirements. So as you continue to meet those requirements, and once you finish that, especially after your high school transcripts have been submitted, you can talk to an academic advisor. But you want to make sure that's the first step.
Fantastic.
Good
I
question.
noticed earlier is in one of your pictures, and you mentioned it, the construction program and the housing, building the house for the Habitat for Humanity. For the people out there interested in construction, this is an amazing program which utilizes many of the different aspects of construction. We have framers, we do the electric, we do the plumbing, and each of these is done in-house by that program. So it's hands-on experience on a real world project built completely inside. So we're not subject to the weather. It doesn't get any better than that. So fantastic. Great program. I have a question actually that was posed that's come in. Looks like it was for Chamber of Commerce, for Andrea. Unfortunately, Andrea had a meeting this morning, but I'm going to try and address this. Someone was asking about some of the resources mentioned. So I'm going to share a screen. This is a screen for the Gainesville Chamber of Commerce where many of those resources can be found. The website is GainesvilleChamber.com. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you can see some of the updates. They're trying to keep us updated on COVID at the state level. But over on the right there, you can see, and Andrea had mentioned earlier as we were talking, the Greater Gainesville initiatives. Andrea had mentioned Support Gainesville. So all of these things can be found here at the Chamber website. Again, GainesvilleChamber.com. Great resources for you as an individual and for you as a business. Okay, any other questions? Here we are. I'm going to take one more. I'm worried because I don't have a lot of tech skills. Can I add some without having an AA degree first?
Yes, you absolutely can. You can start taking those classes if you like, especially if you know that you want to pick a specific track that's towards that area. You can begin to take those classes.
Fantastic. I see one coming in for me. What is the best kind of degree or program that employers want right now? Sort of a two-part question there. The best kind of degree or program, I'm going to answer, that's what you want, what degree or program you want. If you love construction, then go for it. Find your niche. But to answer the question, what are employees looking for? As we gear back up, as businesses continue to open, we're going to have an influx of a lot of different kinds of work. There is always a wealth of construction jobs available, and I'll be honest, I can't fill healthcare positions fast enough. So those programs extremely strong. But that being said, I'm seeing hiring really across the board. The restaurants are at 50% capacity now, so they're gearing back up. Many of the people that were working with the restaurants and food service have moved on to other positions or are doing other things, so those positions are going to need to be filled. But again, as we gear up, just continue to keep an eye open and get those applications out there. You're going to have some competition. Spend some time, as I mentioned earlier, on the resume, getting things so that you look good, but also be thinking about where things are going. As the markets change, as our environments change, the tech skills, the ability to do a Zoom conference, those.
And I have another question for you, James.
Sure.
Is a cover letter important?
Yes. Not even going to hesitate. Not going to sugarcoat. Yes. Think about it this way. A resume, a lot of times we hear one sheet. I don't really like to fall into those rules, but a cover letter gives you one more opportunity to present a little bit about yourself. Think about a resume. A resume is full of facts. Now, we present what we've done. We present how many times we've done it. We present where we've been, but it doesn't have any personality, or it's harder to get personality into a resume. A cover letter allows you to talk about things like soft skills, maybe goals. We're working with someone this week that graduated from our surgical tech program. And, the question I asked when we were working on her cover letter was, why do you want to be a surg tech? Why are you driven for this way? And it may be that everyone in my family has been in the healthcare industry. I love it. I know it. Goals, drive, soft skills, abilities, so many different things. Maybe you've got a question. Cover letter is invaluable. Everyone should be using a cover letter. Now, fortunate for those of you that do, many people don't. They say about 50% don't use cover letters. So if you're going to take the time to submit an application to apply for a job, take a little time and prepare a cover letter. And, watch those doors open. So yes, again, I'm going to say it one more time. Sorry to be repetitious, but yes, a cover letter is important.
Thank you. That was good.
Let's see, do we have any more? I think
Somebody asked, do you have help when applying to financial aid? Yes, our financial aid department does help out with that area. So you want to make sure you're completing FAFSA, the FAFSA application, and our financial aid department can guide you through that process. And if you go to the website as well, it kind of gives you a guidance as well.
all right. Fantastic. Well, you know what? It looks like we're about out of time. So why don't we wrap this up? If you have additional questions, maybe you have some ideas on what you would like for the show. We're going to be doing some surveying, but also please throw your ideas out. We would love to bring you information that you want, that's going to help you in this process. Please keep an eye open for our next broadcast. And more importantly, don't hesitate to reach out if you need questions or assistance. We are here for you and committed to your success. To everyone, toast, cheers. Thank you, stay safe, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, Iz. Thank you, everybody. Take care.